QBO Gym, and this is where we have numerous hands-on exercises that simulate real-life scenarios that you may encounter as a bookkeeper. Each month covers a variety of new topics and scenarios, and to make it a little bit easier for you, we break it down into 4 different sections. So if you are looking to work on your bookkeeping skills, this is the place for you. And if you want to do an entire month's worth of these all on your own, be sure to join our free 5-day bookkeeping challenge. All you need to do is click on the link in the description. But let's get into today's exercise, which is being pulled from our July Year 1 Strength Training section, where we really focus on locations and classes. At the top here is an animated video to give you a little synopsis of what you, the bookkeeper, will be doing for your client Craig this month. Below that is an interactive pre-assessment quiz that relates to the video up above. Under that are the exercises in this section. And at the bottom here, after you have gone through this section and you have completed all of the exercises, you will unlock some sample marketing posts that you can use on your LinkedIn to share with everyone what you have learned so far. So let's dive into today's exercise where we're going to practice setting up class expense transactions. Go ahead and click on this link to have it pulled up for you. I have it here on the right side of my screen, so let's read through the scenario. In this exercise, you will edit an expense to indicate the class. That's it. So you will need to be in the same session of the sample company that you did the previous 2 exercises in. If you have not completed those yet, go ahead and click on the link on the top right corner of your screen. That'll take you to the first exercise, complete that one and the one after it until you get back to this one. They all build on each other, so it's really important to start with that first one. I have the sample company here on the left side of my screen. This is the last page that I left off of from the previous exercise. So let's get started with this one. When tracking commercial versus residential, it's fairly simple to differentiate the income. It's not as straightforward to differentiate the expenses, though. For one, overhead expenses such as rent or utilities fall into neither class, though you could set up a third class specifically for this. It doesn't fall into commercial or residential. Also, some of Craig's purchases, such as tools and equipment, will be used for both classes. Once again, you could set up another class for operating expenses. Finally, Craig may make purchases for multiple clients at one time, some that are commercial and some that are residential, and he may or may not know which is which at the time of the purchase. For example, Craig may purchase 10 bags of soil and not know how much he's going to use for each customer at the time of that purchase. So if you want to practice reallocating expenses after the fact, you may want to consider completing this exercise that is part of the advanced certification course. If you would like more information about that, there is a link in the description, so feel free to click on that. This is a great way to practice and get a little bit more information about that particular topic. So previously we used the reclassify tool, as you can see right here, to change the class on a transaction. This is good if you have several transactions to change at once and if all the items in the transaction are for the same class. However, you can also just edit the transaction itself, which you'll need to do if you have separate classes for each item within that transaction. So let's go ahead and take a look at one of these. From the left navigation bar, we're going to hover over expenses and then select vendors. So over here is that left navigation bar. Hover over expenses and then go ahead and select vendors. And we want to look at Hicks Hardware. So scroll down until you find their name and then go ahead and click on it so that you will see their profile here up here. Now, if you get any pop-ups, just go ahead and click out of them. Just QBO giving you extra information here. And I'm going to actually collapse this bar right here. It's the 3 lines in the arrow, just so it's easier to see my screen since everything's a little bit shrunken. So we're going to click on the row for check 75, which is this one right here. So just click on it and it will appear for us. Notice that Craig previously purchased several items from Hicks. The rock fountain was likely a commercial customer, here, this one right here, since few residential customers actually have these. The sprinkler heads, however, could be for anyone. For the purpose of this exercise, we're going to assume that some of them are for residential customers and some are for commercial customers. We're going to leave the remainder of the items without a class. So on the first row in the rock class, for rock class under class, or rock fountain under class, there we go. For rock fountain under class, select commercial. So this very first one here, click on class and then select commercial. On the second line where we have sprinkler heads, we're going to change the quantity to 10. So click into this. We're going to change this to 10. And in this class field, we're going to change this to commercial. So click the down arrow, select commercial. Now we just got rid of those those five sprinkler heads, and those are going to be classified for residential. So we actually need to, on a fifth line, we need to, in the product service field, select sprinkler heads. So click into that. Go ahead and start, well, actually it's the fourth one here now that I see it. It's the fourth one that is listed here. I'm not sure if you can see with my video screen, but go ahead and click on it once you find it. And then in the quantity field, we want to account for those other 5 that we deleted up here. So change that quantity field to 5. And then in the class field, we want to select residential. So click the down arrow, select residential, and now we have captured that some of the sprinkler heads were for commercial customers and some were in fact for residential customers. We're going to go ahead and click on save and close because there's nothing else to do here. So click on that green button on the bottom right corner, and that transaction has been saved. And that is it. That is how you would update expense transactions as it relates to classes. Now, if you like this exercise and you'd like to do more like it, be sure to join our free 5-day bookkeeping challenge. All you need to do is click on the link in the description. We have finished the strength training section and we move on to the cool down section. So if you would like to join, be sure to leave this session of the sample company open, as you will need it for the next exercise where we practice reconciling the checking account. And I will see you in the next